Hello, I'm Jarmukhan Nurdaulet, and today we're diving into a topic that rapidly shaping the future of education, academic dishonesty in the modern academic environment and growing influence of AI tools. Before we jump into today's discussion, let's take a moment to define some key terms that will guide our conversation. First, when we talk about academic dishonesty, we're referring to any kinds of cheating, plagiarism, or unethical behavior that undermines the integrity of academic work. This can include anything from copying someone else's work to more sophisticated methods, like generating texts using tools powered by artificial intelligence. AI tools, such as ChatGPT, can assist with the writing, providing information, and helping with assignments. While these technologies offer incredible opportunities for learning, they also raise important questions about how they should be used responsibly in an academic setting. Today, we will discuss these questions with Professor Sergei Golunov and the senior lecturer Dordona Yusupova. In your opinion, how has academic dishonesty evolved with the rise of digital tools in AI? Are students simply finding new ways to cheat, or is there a deeper shift in academic ethics?
Yeah, actually, like with the development of AI, right, particularly in the academic field, it has become a big challenge for academicians, like for scholars, and particularly for us as a teaching staff when we deal with the student participation and students their own research involvement during our courses, how they use these AI tools, and it actually challenged the kind of like academic integrity entirely. So if before, right, during the courses we encouraged to write essays, we give most of the things to home as a home assignment. So then nowadays we actually started to rethink about these activities, whether we can actually give this full, let's say, freedom, right, for students to be engaged in writing like essays, research papers, and etc. Because there are some maybe like apps or platforms which can actually detect, right, AI. However, most of them are still weak in how we can actually detect the dishonesty in the academic field, whether the students are cheating or not. However, the type of the assignments, the type of the research that we are actually doing is actually changed. However, AI should not be actually considered as an enemy for academic integrity, like the fields. However, nowadays, as AI is already there in our lives, in everyday life, we actually should to cope with it. Because of that, nowadays we don't actually invite students for not using AI tools at all. So actually we need to learn how we can deal, right, with AI by using AI, how we can actually improve our research. So in one hand, AI actually improved and much more enhanced the effectiveness of the work. In one side, for example, in the research, for especially when we are writing research papers or any kind of articles, extensive work, we can use actually AI tools to improve our work. So mainly, of course, the idea comes from the scholar itself, himself. However, like the technical issues that we can recheck, right, the grammar, as for most of us, English language is not our native language. So in that cases, we can actually use these AI tools to improve our text in terms of a language, in terms of like punctuation, maybe communication, and etc. So in other hands, AI also provides the kind of like quick prompts that could actually effectively manage our time, especially we are designing the huge works like presentations, even like the research itself. However, we need to be careful of how far we can actually use the AI and how we can actually control the usage of AI by the students. So again, in this case, what we can do as teaching staff for our students to avoid the over usage of AI is to actually promote more of critical thinking still. So because like in the age of AI, most of the students are just also lack of this critical thinking, because they can directly go to the platforms and find whatever they want, right? Even in terms of like what kind of topics to discuss, what to answer, and etc. So because of that, I think it's very critical still even today to promote the critical thinking among the students as far as it be applicable in the certain fields. So to promote the critical thinking, to listen to their opinions, and by such maybe integrate AI into the into the research, I mean.
I asked the same question from Professor Golunov and got slightly different response.
It's a very serious question. I discovered it during the previous year in summer that almost everybody, I worked for a different university, and I have discovered that almost everybody, 70 or 80% switched to ChatGPT, and it almost ruined the way I tried to organize, for example, checks. So in some universities, it really makes some 70 or 80% among students. But it is not only the problem for students, because it is a temptation for many professors to do this way, especially as if professors are overloaded and if they do not strictly observe moral values. So recently I discovered, for example, that it is possible to prepare a presentation of a lecture in 1 minute. You just input the topic of the lecture, and the presentation is here in a minute. So it really can have a serious impact on education. But my colleagues' opinions are different. It probably depends on discipline. Some of my colleagues, for example, that deal with informatics or something like this, argue that it is not a big problem for them, because it is difficult to do some tasks with ChatGPT. And in history, I experiment with this, with artificial intelligence a lot. I ask historical questions, and I found that some half of responses are wrong. But for some disciplines, it can really be a game changer, and at least it can bring students some C, for example, without any labor, without any preparation. And I know that my colleagues conduct interviews and focus groups with students, and discovered that many do not prepare for seminars. They just upload readings to ChatGPT, and it produces everything in 5 minutes. So it can be really, again, a game changer. And if nothing is done, some argue that it can bury higher education.
What do you think is more effective in preventing academic dishonesty? Stricter penalties, advanced detection methods, or fostering a deeper understanding of academic ethics and integrity?
I think like the latter is much more appropriate, because like the coercive methods not always work effectively, whether we penalize or we actually like enforce the harsh methods to deal with it. I think like we need to raise the awareness of the people, of every individual, of our students, of why academic integrity is crucial, so and how we can actually avoid, right, this dishonesty. So by providing this kind of tools, I think like we can actually work effectively, like cooperate, right, in this question. So by such, I think like we can, in a sense, promote the research environment among the students as well. So not just like by coercively, or just like how to say, avoiding, right, any traditional methods of doing research. For example, as I have stated already, nowadays, right, most of our exams assignments are turned to be in class, because of this, in order to prevent this dishonesty. However, I think like especially in the humanitarian fields, I think it's still crucial how we can actually conduct research, like how we can actually write essays, research papers, kind of a policy papers, right?
I don't think that strict penalties really work because there are many who would just ignore all of this. And also there is a problem with the quality of detection. There are AI detectors, but none of them works with 100% certainty. It's one thing. And many will resort to this even if penalties are strict, even if it is difficult to catch them. As for example, ethics, propagation, and so on, it is not effective in my opinion. Probably smarter ways of control can help. For example, we have proctoring during exams, and it is difficult to use smartphones. For example, I practice time tests with strictly limited time, but I give opportunities to prepare and to retake, so not to make the price of bad performance too high. So I give a way to exit of this situation without using this method. So probably some smarter methods can work, but not harsh penalties or appeal to ethics.
In this podcast, we discussed game-changing consequences of AI in the academy and how we can address these issues that arise from the usage of AI among students. Thank you for your attention.